welcome to the YouTube. Ethan Robertson from the Virginia Titan Division, a young legend in the making. Remember the name. About to win an All-American scholarship, right? Closing in on. Do you know where you're at? Top 50, you know where you're at?
I think top 14 this week. I was 13th last week. The guys beat me by $50 CPO, I think.
Close the gap. Close the gap. You can see
Exactly.
we're both dressed up. School just got this in the mail today. Ethan looking sharp, of course. So Ethan just started. When did you start? Give us your date.
May 20th was when I signed my contract.
So it was about a little over 2 months ago. And since then you've sold how much Cutco?
44,600.
$44,000 so far this summer. Just finished a 20K SC2, 22K to be exact. Average orders around $500. Your closing ratio is what's pretty nasty, 97%. Is this accurate?
This is accurate, yes.
So
yes,
Ethan, did you have a sales job before this?
No, not at all. Zero sales experience.
What'd you do before this?
I was actually a chef at a really fancy restaurant in Winchester. So might be able to chalk up some of my closing skills to that. And I have a lot of ethos that I can build up during the demo, talking about the dishes that I prepare, the knives that I use. But everybody cooks, so.
Okay, so you had experience with cooking, so you understood that side of things. That's cool.
Yeah. Well,
what are you gonna say?
Yeah, well, for my tougher to book clients actually on the phone, they're not wanting to book a demo with me. I always say, hey, I mean, like I can always come over, help you guys prep dinner. I've been a chef for about 3 years at a local restaurant. I'm more than happy to help you guys out, and that always gets the foot in the door at the end of the day.
That's good. That's funny. Okay, so really quick, where was your confidence level at in training? You were in training, learning it, right? Where was your confidence at that you were going to crush it to the level you have?
Oh, really low. I think my goal for the first week was to sell 2,000 maybe during my fast start. I thought I'd maybe like make a quick buck off my parents and then dip after that.
Really?
But little did I know that I'd stick with it for the whole summer. Yeah, I figured I'd give it a shot. I mean, I like the knives. I mean, we had 2 of them, and I figured I could upgrade my parents to a larger set, make some money off of that. I really didn't think that I'd be able to sell knives. I mean, knife sales is such a weird job.
This is awesome. Okay, so and what's your life situation? Are you a student? Where at? What are you up to? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm a student at a really small school called Christendom College. We actually did win the rugby national championships this past year, though, so not that small. But we had about 500 kids that go there, so pretty impressive achievement.
In your high school or college?
College.
Got it. What year are you?
I'm a rising junior right now.
And then what are you studying right now?
Right now, I'm majoring in mathematics.
Okay. Smart guy. Okay, so why I wanted you here, I'm glad we got to hear your story, right? Why you're here is because I heard from a birdie that you've been doing all your presentations in person. Now, this isn't mind-blowing. When I started selling Cutco, for me, like I did, that was the job, was you'd show up in person, sample kit, cut stuff up, sell them Cutco, whatever, drive there. Obviously, the past couple of years, it's been virtual for pretty much everybody in the company. And you were trained virtual. Is that accurate?
Mm-hmm.
So, and now you do all your stuff you go to their house, you do it in person.
Yes, sir.
So for some people, this might be like, oh yeah, duh, that makes sense. For some people watching, it's like, how would that even work? Like, what would I even do? So just walk us through the first time you did this, how did you were trained to do the job virtually? Your manager managed you to do it virtually. How did this even start? Like the in-person, where did this begin for you?
Yeah, I mean, really started on my initial names and numbers list. I was calling up my old speech and debate teacher and trying to book her for a demo. And she just kind of made the assumption that I'd be coming to her house, gave me her address and everything. And I was kind of taking it back. Like I called my manager, Hannah, back to I was like, hey, Hannah, am I allowed to go to people's houses and do demos? Is that like a thing that I can do at all? And she said, I mean, like, go for it. Just like do the same kind of virtual demo, except in person, show them the video, show them the slides, everything like that. She was a Cutco owner, already knew exactly what she wanted, picked out like a 700 CPO order, had me out the door in about 20 minutes. I mean, I was fine with it. I mean, it's a quick buck. I wasn't complaining, especially during my fast start. I like that. But that was my first in-person demo.
So in your fast start right away, you went, this lady assumed the
Yeah.
clothes, you went and did it.
Mhm.
After that experience, what from that was it like, whoa, I'm doing everything in person now, or what next as far as the in-person stuff?
I mean, not at all. Honestly, for me at least, it was I was pretty uncomfortable initially, like going through the slides, sitting next to them, just showing them my computer and everything. I was taken aback. I preferred the virtual environment. So it wasn't until like about week and a half, 2 weeks after that, that I had my next in-person demo. And this was with somebody else who assumed that I was coming to their house. I was like, fine, like I'll humor them, I guess. And so I showed up, really nice house. And I botched the demo. I did really, really badly. Her husband sold Cutco back in the day, and he started off by saying that he thought that the Cutco knives were the best knives ever. And then he found like these really nice shun knives, and he took me over to his knife block, and they had like 6 or 7 of like really high quality Japanese blades. And I was like, oh man, if he sold Cutco and he doesn't think it's the best product out there, how am I supposed to sell him? So I skipped the video, which I shouldn't have done. I like breezed through the slides really quickly, and then asked for the ultimate close. And then they said yes. He was like, yeah, I'll help you out. We want to buy an ultimate set for our second house anyways. I was like, gosh, if I can do this badly on an in-person demo and sell an ultimate. And then I ended up getting 30 Rex too. I was like,
What
that
was
was kind
that
of like
like? What was it like getting Rex in person? What'd you
it
do?
was so much better. I think that was that and the ultimate set were like two things that tipped me over the edge because the Recs were so much easier to get her to start, like pull out her phone, going through the contacts, taking down the names and numbers. For me, at least, like just interacting with people in person was a lot easier than virtually. So that was really the turning point. I took that Rex list and just did everybody in person, and it just kind of expanded from there. That Rex list is actually where I have 90% of my demos from now. So yeah, that was the turning point for me.
So you went there, did this demo, they bought an ultimate set, they gave you 30 Rex. You basically built
Mhm.
your summer from that recommendations list.
Yeah.
After that, did you do anything else on virtual, or was it all in person from that point on?
I have a handful of New England people, like a little bit of a Rex thing up there, and then a lot of Cali people that I tap into for my late night demos. But I mean, aside from that, it's all in person. Say 90-95% in person.
Got it. And you now, so it's uncomfy at first, but now you're just rocking it. Like you're just doing in-person stuff.
Yeah, I love it. I'm tons more comfortable in person. Recs are so much easier. The sale is so much easier. Like you can go snoop around their kitchen almost. If you build good enough rapport, of course. Like pick up their knives. Oh, Mrs. Jones, this is so dull. Look at what I can do to my hand. Like the blade isn't even cutting it. Um, I'll only do that for the really tall knives, obviously. You want to check them out first, but that's a pretty powerful tool right there. And especially just, I mean, I know I sold an ultimate set 2 weeks ago. As soon as I walked in their house and saw the people in person, I was like, oh, this can be an ultimate sale. You just know to a certain extent once you can see them in person. You get stuff that you can never see over Zoom.
What's the engagement like in person? What's the difference?
That was fantastic. You get more physical contact, which is a really great way of naturally building rapport with the customer. I mean, obviously, you shake their hand when you first walk in the door. You can like grab them by the shoulder or something when you're building enough rapport. It's fantastic. And also, like, make comments on the stuff around their house. My favorite line: "Oh, Mrs. Jones, who'd you get to do the interior design? You did it yourself. That's crazy. I thought you must have
That's,
hired a professional."
oh, that's
Beautiful. As
really
soon as you
good.
walk in, yeah. I stole
That's
that one
really good.
from Zach Jost, but I use it every single time. It's amazing.
That's good.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And your in-person closing ratio is 95% plus. Like you're
Yes, sir.
closing deals. So you started with like you brought your computer, you did the slideshow, you shook their hand, you looked them in the eyes, you grabbed their knives, you tested them out, whatever.
Hmm.
Now you own a bunch of Cutco. Is this accurate
Hmm.
to say? You bring it,
Oh
you
yeah.
bring some fruit and veggies, right? Is this right?
Oh yeah.
Walk me through it. Like you obviously are at, you're at $44,000. So this is a process.
Hmm.
But if we booked a demo right now and it was in person, what would you show up wearing? What would you bring? And what would you do? Walk me
Ooh.
through.
Well, it really depends. First of all, I get this estimate on your house, figure out how much that is worth.
So
I'll
you
look up
first
your
thing you do, you go
Facebook.
online, you look up the house because you have the
When
address.
I book the demo, yeah, I can get the address from them. Kind of like get a little scope out, see if I can find you on Facebook, see the kind of stuff that you dress up for usually. So if it's somebody I see them on Facebook and they're always wearing like really nice clothes, then I'm gonna show up dressed more nicely. If I can't find them on Facebook, then it's just gonna be like a Cutco polo and some khakis and then some nice shoes. That's kind of like the nice in between. But I mean, you get a good kind of idea of what the client is like through their Facebook if you can find it.
Where do you get
And
a
then
Cutco
depending,
polo?
I ordered one through the literature portion of the site. Actually, Hannah ordered it for me.
Cool. So
Um,
ask your manager, they can order your polo.
oh yeah, they're so tight. The material is amazing. I love the navy blue. I'm a navy blue guy. I got like the nice Cutco. Oh, it's amazing.
Okay,
But
keep going.
no, yeah, and then depending on what I find during those first two things, like this estimate, and then like what you wear, I'm going to bring a variety of things. Sometimes, like if I'm pressed for time, it's just going to be a potato. I always at least bring a potato. But if you're like a five-star person, I'm going to bring my cookware. I'm going to bring some chicken. I'm going to cook you dinner or lunch, depending on the time of day. I'm going to bring like a pineapple, tomatoes. What I'd really like to do is like bring in onions, some zucchini, some bell peppers, make like some fajita kind of base, and then like start grilling the
Chef, you're
chicken
a
in the
chef.
saucepan. Exactly, yeah. And then just put the lid on with that vapor seal, get them to see how that works, take it out. It's fantastic. It's amazing. But I've only done that for like one or two clients, just like those are my five star, you know what I mean? Because I don't have the
Check
time or the
this
resources to
estimate.
do that. Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it really ranges. Usually, like I said, at least a potato. Usually a potato and a pineapple. Pineapple's fantastic for using the butcher knife and the petite carver on it. Pro tip too, so you don't have to wash your hands. Use the turning fork to hold the pineapple down while you're using the petite carver on it. It's fantastic. And then for the potato, you can use the peeler, cheese knife. Once they cut the potato with the cheese knife, they're at least going to buy the cheese knife. That's how I have a 97% closing rate. I've sold so many cheese knives. It's crazy. I love that knife, especially like signature upgrade in the future. Total cakewalk. If you sell me a cheese knife and then like a basic knife, or even just like cheese knife and petite santoku, it's gonna be so easy in the future.
This
But
is such a
yeah,
blast from the past for me.
really.
Talk about, oh yeah, I mean, all I used to bring, carrot, a
Mm-hmm.
potato, and then I'd bring a pineapple and a tomato. And
That's
you pretty
awesome.
much do every knife.
Mm-hmm.
Those
No,
four.
yeah, definitely.
And gadget.
Mm-hmm. I love them.
Okay, so then that's what you'd bring. Anything else?
Mm-hmm. I mean, my huge duffel bag, I have like an ultimate block now, and then I bring like my flatware sample, my cookware, my business gift samples, a
Where do
cutting
you
board and
get that
everything.
stuff? Where do you get that?
Yeah, you can go to Vector Connect. I think it's all about Cutco, and then you can buy samples through that. So it's about 50-50. I've won about half the stuff that I have right now. I've bought the other half. And I've won up to a signature set and gadgets.
So you go Vector Connect, just so everybody knows. I think it's
Yeah, buy Cutco samples.
there it is.
There you go. And they're pretty cheap. You get them for a third of the price.
So basically the whole classic,
Some of
there's
them are locked behind career CPO requirements, though.
ultimate roll up for $200.
It's a steal.
Cookware $70. Here's the business. Yeah. Cool. So you got all the Cutco, you have it now, you show up with it, you dice up
Oh, yeah.
some stuff. Cool. Any last tips? The interior design thing, awesome. Any last little nuggets like that? And any other tips in general for somebody who's newer? I'm also curious, would you say before Cutco, are you a pretty introverted or extroverted type person? Or like, is this your personality to do a job like this?
I definitely wasn't. I was pretty introverted. Like I said, I just thought I was gonna be making a quick buck. I remember making my first phone call, my hands were like shaking. I was like
Really?
sweating like crazy. It was not a pleasant experience at first. But I mean, I love the job. I feel like I've grown into it a lot. Um, but no, definitely introverted when I was starting out.
Yeah. I remember when I met you in person, you shook my hand and you were so nice and intentional, so present. I was like, whoa, this guy's awesome. So I'm not
I
surprised at all.
appreciate
You're
that.
$44,000. So what's the future hold? TLA Leadership
Yeah, I want to
Academy.
branch next summer, and then after that, DM. Hopefully, that's the dream. Stick
Cool.
with the company for a while at least. I don't. There's no other company out there that has this kind of atmosphere, this kind of energy, this kind of support. It's fantastic.
Great place to be. All right, man.
Yeah,
Hey, oh, any last tips?
I can't think of any. I mean, like number one, first and foremost, always make a friend out of the customer. That's the biggest tip you can ever have. I mean, people like to do business with people that they're friends with. And it's funny, like the less that you pressure the sale. I mean, every time that I'm doing a demo, I think I talk 5 or 6 or 7 times about how I get paid regardless if they make it, if they buy or not. And then eventually I've had people who started out saying that they're not going to buy from me. I say, oh, you're totally fine. You're totally fine. Go through the whole demo, and they end up buying $500, $600, $700 worth of stuff. So
Because it's
make a
awesome.
friend out of the customer.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Bonus
absolutely.
tip, subscribe to the channel. And
Of course.
Ethan, I appreciate your time, man. You are pacing for a monster summer. Crack the top 10. Looking forward to see the finish. All right.
Yes,
We'll see
sir.
you.
Thanks. Appreciate you.